Okay, kids, I'm going to do a little review of this Garmin device. Let me see. Okay, this is the Garmin model Nuvi. I don't know how you say that. Nuvi 2797 GPS system with Bluetooth and voice command activation, and it's got its own speaker in it. Oh, there it said it heard me. Did you see that? That was pretty good. View map. That was spontaneous. That's pretty good. Okay, so I better not say that again, or I better turn that off. But it worked well. Let's put it that way. So I got this as a gift from my girlfriend, um, and I haven't put the money into it. That might make me give this a harsher review. Um, my understanding is it's fairly expensive. She also sent me this very deluxe stand that comes with it. At this point, I like this Garmin quite well. I had seen another review online that said some of the redrawing was slow, or the screen drawing. I don't see that as a real problem on this device. What I've learned to like is that the screen is highly visible. It's got better resolution than some of the ones that I've seen before, and I've used several different ones, including one in a Cadillac, an older, smaller one that I've had, cell phone one with Bing Maps. In fact, using the Nokia 920 phone that I have, and plus it has its own built-in Here Maps when I've used that. I think it actually is graphically pretty good. The resolution looks better than some I've seen. It's pretty easy to read. What I found very good about it is that the voice commands,
Say a command.
view map, actually work very well. We all know about using cell phones or different things where you have that option and you speak into it and it gets it all garbled. This one responds pretty darn good in terms of that. Yeah, so one thing about it is this long power cord kind of thing here. You can see that there. It's got the red light glowing. Of course, you got to have power. And This is pretty long, and that I kind of have wound around the device itself, and it works out okay. But when you have a car that's already got a lot of going on and a pretty big center console, it gets in the way a little bit. But I don't know what else you can do about it. Not a whole lot. If you have a car that already has some type of Bluetooth navigation capacity, and this one actually does, although it's minimal. If you can see that top screen there, it has, you can use turn by turn. It can actually display text on there, text messages. It can, my Windows phone has always been able to read back text messages through there, audibly, and even display the text, but in a very marginal, maybe 2-line display. And it works well with Bluetooth through it. You can use the voice commands of the phone. There you go.
Say a command.
View map, using this, and I could have signed up for their own turn-by-turn navigation, but I think that gives you just a quick 1-line or 2-line display with voice feedback. So it's not that bad in this car, but it's not as good as this Garmin is. So, I mean, it's good to have a navigation system. The cell phone was okay, but its screen was too small, even on a pretty good sized cell phone screen. The big problem, though, is when you get one of these, is that you are going to have a place to put it, and because you've already got this least minimal display area, that's kind of where you might put it otherwise, and that gives you kind of clutter. So it doesn't come with this stand. The stand was given to me. What this is it's a kind of a flexible rubber. I think it may even be a little bit magnetic, but it has a area on the bottom that is frictious. It's kind of smooth looking, and it seems kind of sticky, but it doesn't have an adhesive on it. So it kind of gives friction to the dashboard, and it sits on that. It connects by a circular kind of ball thing that connects to the back of the navigation unit. And so far, it's quite stable. Even doing pretty good turns. I think it's got enough weight to counterbalance this. Plus, it's got the kind of friction thing. One thing about this is in a lot of instances where you stop somewhere and you don't really want this up top to see it, you can take this down. If you put it on the ground just like that, you'll get a bunch of crap on the bottom. So I can set it down on the floor and turn it over maybe. But it still gets dirty, and that's kind of screws that up. But you don't want to leave it sitting here if you're go in some area that maybe you're not concerned about, or that you are concerned about, and you don't want somebody to smash and grab your stuff. It's got good displays. Here's the turn by turn. You can get that up ahead. Display I wanted to show that I was using on my Garmin, which I really like. I don't think I quite got one quite like this on others, where the directions were so legible with the inset map too, though. A lot of times when you get to this level of detail,
In 1/2 mile, turn right on Gratiot Avenue.
it's hard to read. I like that the directions there are big and readable there. The map is smaller, but you can see your orientation on the map, but you can see exactly what you're supposed to do also. So I like that. Alrighty then, in summation, this Garmin Nuvi 2797 is a device, a GPS device that I like quite a lot. I think it's the best one that I've used. I've used several. I know I saw another review online that said the displays were too slow, but I'm not sure about that. It looks very good. Works very well. Voice commands work very well, as I had said earlier in the review. I did a little real-time testing by going on a trip, and the one thing I noticed, and I haven't worked it out yet, is that it has a function where you can look up something like, say, a Starbucks or a food place and add it to the trip. And I think what I did on one occasion was I added one, then canceled it, or thought I canceled it, then added another from a new search, and both of them were in it, and it tried to take me back to the first one because it was putting them all in line. So that's something that people would have to be wary of, but I think it's a good deal. As I said, I got it as a gift, so I can't tell you in terms of price what the value is.